Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be going over my September sales. I have been officially back to reselling for 1 month. September was my first full month of sales, and that's what I'm going to be going over today with you. I like to keep track of my sales on a spreadsheet, and so I have it sitting here, so I may be going back and forth a little bit just to check my numbers. I'll be going over my top 5 sales, my bottom 5 sales, and then I have a few in between that I thought would be fun to share. So in the month of September, I sold a total of 25 items. My total sales price was $1,267.99. My lowest sale was $17 and my highest sale was $110, and my average sales price was $50.72. Since I am back into reselling just recently, I only have about 30 items listed on each platform. I'm selling currently on eBay, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace. I had in September an average of 30 items listed on Facebook Marketplace, and then between eBay and Poshmark, I had an average of 30 items listed there as well. So my volume isn't large right now, but these coming months, I have about 200 items that I need to list, and so I expect my numbers to increase quite a bit. But I was really happy with this first month. It was just a start. I was slowly getting things listed and trying to figure out my process and my storage and getting that all set up, as well as doing videos here on YouTube. And so I had initially set a goal that I wanted to make at least $1,000 my first month, and I was happy to have done that. So now it's time to make a sales goal for October. I would love to double that for the month of October. I'm going to go over my top 5 sales and my lowest 5 sales. And then there's a few in between that I thought were interesting that I wanted to share as well. So why don't we start with my top 5 sales? The first thing I sold was this really beautiful Mexican pottery sink. It looked brand new to me. It does not look like it had ever been used, and I paid $12 for it. I haven't really sold a lot of construction materials and things like this, and so I didn't know how it would do, but it actually got a ton of interest. It sold within about a week. I listed it for $75, and it sold for $75, and since it was on Facebook Marketplace, there were no fees. So my net profit was $63. The next item was this box of beautiful marble tiles. They were 4 by 4 inches, made in Italy. I knew that they were quality. They were beautiful, so I picked them up. I paid $5 for the box of these, and I listed them for $85, and they sold for full price. So my net profit on those was $80. The next item was this really cute rag and bone quilted lightweight jacket. I bought this for $4. I listed it for $99, and it sold for $89. I did get several offers, but I'm glad that I held out and sold it for $89. I sold it on Poshmark, and the fees were $19.82. So my net profit was $65.18. The next item was this really beautiful autumn oil painting. It was signed. You may see this in a haul video, and I actually listed this what I thought was kind of high because I didn't really want to sell it. I wanted to just keep it because it is so beautiful. I ended up listing it for $100. I purchased it for $8. I listed it on Facebook Marketplace, and this was another one that just got tons and tons of interest. I had thousands of views on this. It sold within 2 weeks for my full asking price of $100. And since it was on Facebook Marketplace, again, there was no fees. So my net profit was $92. Okay, so now for my highest sale. It was this really beautiful vintage apothecary style box. It was pretty small. It wasn't more than, 5 or 6 inches. And so I was surprised by how much these sell for. There wasn't a ton of them online, but the ones that I did find were selling for $120 plus. And so I decided to list mine at $110. I purchased this for $4, and it sold for the full asking price of $110. And the fees on that were $14.44 on eBay. So let's go to my lowest sales now. The lowest sale I made was this Carhartt hat. This actually sold in a bundle on Poshmark with this Lululemon bag. I paid $3 for the hat and 75 cents for the bag. The hat sold for $17 and the bag sold for $31. My fees were $9.80. So my net profit was $34.44 on that bundle. My next sale was this little ceramic bird. Again, I've changed a little bit and I'm going to be sourcing things that will average me $30 or more. So I may not pick this up again, but it was really kind of cute and quirky. I hadn't ever seen anything like it before. And the fact that it was signed had me intrigued. And so I ended up purchasing this for $1.50. I listed it for $17 and it sold on eBay for $17. My fees were $1.28, so my net sales was $14.22. Now I'm going to skip around to some items that I just thought were kind of interesting. I found this old corkscrew at the thrift store. I could tell it was really old once I picked it up, and it was really quirky and unique. Again, those are words that you'll hear me describe things because those are the things I love to pick up. I ended up paying $1.50 for this. This was one of the first things I listed as I got back into reselling, and I just wanted to get some sales under my belt. So I probably could have listed this for even higher because it's the only one of this particular guy that I could find. The others were different characters. And so I feel confident I probably could have made more on this. But I listed it for $45. It sold for $39.99 and my fees were $5.78. So my net profit was $32.71. Another sale that was a little surprising to me, I didn't realize these sell so well and for such a good amount, were these really big shells. I paid $4 for this shell and I listed it for $50. And it sold for $42 and the fees were $8.40. So my net profit on this shell was $29.60. So if you ever see these big, beautiful shells, pick them up. If you thought that Rae Dunn was done, you're wrong, because if you find certain pieces, they can sell for a lot of money. I found this little planter. It was kind of cute, kind of funny. And I decided to look it up while I was at the thrift store, and I found this comp for $130. And I was like, wait a second, what? So I ended up picking it up, and that's the only comp that I could find. And I could not find any others online, sold anywhere. And this is another one that I figured I could have gotten more, but it was one of my first listings and I just wanted to get some sales. And so I listed it a little lower. I purchased it for $1.50. I listed it at $45 and it sold for my full asking price of $45. My fees were $4.43 and my net profit was $39.07. So this got me thinking about Rae Dunn. I know that it's really saturated. When I first started reselling, it actually was selling quite well, but it's very saturated now. And so I did a quick search on eBay to see the most recent high sales were. And there's actually some things that you should be on the lookout while you're thrifting. And I'll do just a quick screenshot here so you can see how much some of these things are going for, because there is still some money to be made with Rae Dunn. So I have two more items that I'm going to go over, and I just wanted to share these because they both sold within 2 hours of listing them. I sold them on Facebook Marketplace. The first one was this wicker barrel chair. This is vintage. It was in really great condition, and I paid $6 for it. I listed it for $75, and it sold for my full asking price of $75 with no fees since it was Facebook. The second one was this really beautiful mid-century sewing box that like opened up into all these little shelves and compartments. I think they call it an accordion style. And I paid $12 for this, and I listed it for $75, and it sold for my full asking price of $75, again within just 2 hours. This one was in really great condition. I saw a few others on Facebook Marketplace that were smaller and in not as great condition. So if you can find it in great condition like this, I say pick it up. So that's all for our September sales. I'm going to try to do these videos every month. I find them helpful. I love watching these kinds of videos to see what's selling, to see what other people are picking up, and to see what's moving quickly. If you found any value in this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.